giving, staged moment of introspection.
I love those.
You just do mic check.
Yeah, mic check, test.
Cool. All right, it's picking up.
I lived in this world in the South where it was like, I felt like I had to hide all the time. My parents got a computer for the house, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna be on this all the time. I made friends online and like lived under a screen name, so it felt like that was my life or something. And I think that mediation like through the screen was something that I've always thought about and always tried to figure out like ways of kind of creating distance that happens sometimes with a screen. Then you have this surveillance system, which is something that I feel like is happening to all of us all the time. We feel it when we say something and Instagram shows it to us instantaneously. Like those types of things like remind us that we're being watched all the time. So then I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I'm just up for grabs in this way. And I think sometimes that relates to transness, yes. I feel like I'm always being watched or something. People are trying to figure out what's going on there. But then it's this other level that's for all people. I realize that everything is a performance, and I know this has been talked about in a lot of different realms, but I realize so much of gender being a performance and learning certain things to try and offset people's like scent onto what like gender I was assigned at birth. So it's this strange thing where I'm like, okay, I wanted to perform this certain way in Texas to like survive or something, and then now I'm allowed to like be myself, and like I'm learning how to perform in a different way.
Sweet. I'm gonna get some shots from behind as you're walking in there.
I used to be like, well, this is activism, this is art, or this is escapism, this is activism. Like there's these categories that I built in my head, but really in reality a lot starts to intertwine. There's different elements of this show through the programming and different aspects of people coming in here and using the space that it starts to become a community space. It evolves in a way that you can't predict, which is how life is.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I forget that I'm at the museum sometimes when I'm in here for extended periods of time with you.
When I'm like surrounded by you or like people in my life, it makes the space come alive, and that zoning in on activity of a person and that residue and just like all that comes with a person existing, I think gets accentuated in the space, which always really excites me because I think it's something that people can kind of step into in a way that you do with a television show or something. You start to like place yourself in it in some ways because you're this ambient viewer that's like let into the space, and I think this kind of feels like a TV that got left on or something in some ways, and I'm like in it, experiencing it from the perspective of the TV. I think I was just trying to make it as comforting of an environment as possible and relate to nature in a lot of different ways because I think that's where I want to be. I wanted to showcase this plant that I felt has history within both of my like sides of ancestry, but also was something where I was like, this is medicinal, this could actually help me like survive. I think how I originally thought of it, it was a universe of like constellations that all kind of work together to create an image, and I feel like I'm not like saying exactly what that image is, but I do feel like everything correlates in a way that you can kind of start to read them together. I think both the sides besides the MRIs are just like places that I've been to or I dream of. With the Zen Garden, it was really like a place where I felt super comfortable and at home. I want to have a farm one day where I grow all different things like mushrooms and marijuana plants at some point. And I think like that's a dream for me. And this was kind of a dream that I had of like what a past life could be. So I think it all comes together in this way that it does form like a memoryscape and a kind of like longing for these different things that exist in the world that could maybe be a future.
Do you feel like you have something to work with?
I have a lot to work with. This is great.
Okay.